Hi, and welcome to another episode of Starship Gaming. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we release more awesome videos. Now, today I want to talk about a game that is near and dear to me. I'm going to say it's probably in my top 10 list of favorite games of all time, and that is the movies for the PC. So let's discuss. So the movies is one of those hidden PC treasures. It kind of combines elements of The Sims, as well as, other stuff at the time, like people's love of movies and whatnot. But it was one of those games that felt very similar to The Sims in the way it was constructed. Released by Lionhead Studios in 2005, the movies, basically, you ran your own studio, you hired actors and staff and crew and whatnot, and you basically made movies. Now, the game itself, the first time I ever heard about it, was in a magazine. I believe it might have been an Xbox magazine, because there was, at one time, it was going to receive console ports for Xbox and PS2, but they were canceled for whatever reason, and it only got a PC release. So the movies was really simple in the way that it was played. You start out in 1920, and you start with a studio, and you have to go through the decades. Of course, you have different things. You have your casting office and your acting school and whatnot. You hire actors, you hire crew, janitors, and builders and whatnot. And over time, you can unlock more technology to get like better sets. Of course, you got to build sets too. You can build better sets and costumes and whatnot. And, you hire script writers, and they can make you an automatic script. But there's also the advanced custom script making, where you can piece together your own scenes, and if you wanted to, you could even do a crude reenactment of Star Wars. Of course, it's not going to be fancy, but you can do it if you want to in the movies. Now, this game, when it was released, it sold very poorly. Like, no one hardly bought it. In fact, it actually caused Lionhead Studios to suffer some financial difficulties, in which they were later snatched up in April of 2006, shortly after the release of the movies, by Microsoft. So a lot of people, the movies was either a game that you really loved or you really hated. And this was one game that I really loved, and honestly, it is a hidden gem. It is probably one of the top 10 best PC games ever made, and me personally, I would put it in my top 10 list of favorite games of all time, maybe even in my top 5. But it's one of those games that you really have to appreciate it for what it is. Now, if you're a Sims fan, you might enjoy it, but it's definitely like a dumbed down version of The Sims. But it's very similar in layout and whatnot, nonetheless. Except you can't physically harm the people in the movies like some sadistic, demented people out there are that play The Sims. Like, there was this girl I went to college with, and she would tell me about how she had a baby in The Sims, and she would like drop it in the pool and then delete the ladders. Like, the baby's not going to crawl out anyway. She was pretty messed up in the head. But of course, you could probably say that about a lot of people who play The Sims, who trap their Sims in a room and light it on fire after they delete the doors and windows. Now that is demented, and I think that's why society is the way it is now. So a lot of you messed up people out there, you could say The Sims is the blame. So tell me in the comments down below, have you ever played the movies? And if you haven't, would you like to play it? Of course, my review isn't fancy. It's not detailed. That's going to lead me into something else. I recently received a comment saying, why did you say they? It's very vague. Well, if you want details, you have fingers, don't you? Use Google. If you want more details, just Google it. This is just opinion stuff. This is fluff. I do these for fun. These are not, done for monetary. If you want more details, just Google it. But I just share my opinion. So you can take it at face value. If not, Google it. If you're too lazy to Google it, then I feel very sorry for you. Just being honest. Just being honest. Yeah. I'm always going to be honest about how I'm thinking. Yeah. So yeah, the movies. I really enjoyed it. I just recently started playing this game again, and I think, well, let me tell you, here's the thing. It will definitely not run on Windows 10. I had to break out the Windows XP PC to play this one, and yeah, it is every bit of fabulous as I remember back in the late 2000s when I picked up a cheap copy of it for $10 at a Big Lots. So, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we make more awesome videos. Of course, we have a big announcement coming up in the next episode or two. Of course, if you watch this far, mention this in the comments, and I'll know you paid attention. So until next time, I will see you.